Welcome back everybody to another Star Wars review. In this review, we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett's Slave 1. The packaging is very nice. It's a relatively large box. Has a nice vintage feel style to it. These retail for like $149.99 and up, depending where you get it from. So let's start off by taking a look at the box. It's got all the nice features and a weird feature, which we'll take a look at here in a second. So here in the top left corner, we have the Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back logo and Boba Fett Slave 1 nameplate just behind that. Does have a nice Cloud City background. Looks really cool. Here on the right side of the box, we have warning: choking hazards not for small parts, not for children under the age of 3, and recommended for ages like 4 and above. Just below that, we have this little round red sticker that tells us includes a display stand, which is going to be really nice for vertical flight mode displays. On the bottom left, we do have the picture of the Slave 1 in the flight mode with the stand being displayed. It's kind of weird that they have in the picture showing off the stand on one side of the box and telling you about it on another side of the box. It's kind of different. Remember I was telling you guys about some kind of weird part of this box. You see right there beside that picture of the flight stand, it has figure not included in 5 different languages. But apparently Hasbro want to make sure you understand that you're not getting any figures for $150. So if you look way down here, we have figures not included in countless amount of different languages. That is really, don't make sure you understand. In any language you speak, it's there. Also on the bottom right corner, we have the Kenner logo. With all joking aside, the front picture, this is real nice. You have a nice picture of the toy. The Slave 1 looks fantastic. And then you can see some of the figures that they have displayed, but you make sure you understand you don't get any of those. Nice display overall, great box, except for some of the print. I think some of this print on the bottom is kind of done to death. If you are a package collector, that is kind of god awful for a terrible way to present a nice vintage style packaging that they're trying to go for. They got a lot of gibberish in my opinion on it. You don't need to have that much. If that's the case, then you can put it on, inside an insert inside the packaging. But we'll move on. And next we're going to start taking a look at the top of the box. Okay, here is top of the box. We have the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett Slave 1 logo with Kenner there on the left. We have some nice product shots here showing the very nice paint style of the back of the ship. Looks done very nicely, but we will definitely take a look at that. Here in the center we have a place for a carbonite chamber, and here we have a picture on the far right of Boba Fett in the cockpit. It looks like you can actually fit 3 separate figures in there, which is fantastic. And down at the bottom here we have some print. Includes Han Solo carbonite in 5 different languages. That's fantastic. Psych. So the other side of the box is the same as the side we just looked at. There's really no back, I guess. It's kind of a 2 front box. Here on the bottom of the box, we do have the Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back logo again. And here at the bottom left, we have the UPC. That helps you guys at all. And a bunch of fine print about stuff I'm pretty sure no one cares about. And we see got a bunch of different warnings in different languages. Just fantastic. Here we're showing it some more of the playability of Boba Fett Slave 1 with the rotating wings. And down the rear of the Slave 1 we do have a rocket launcher. And down at the very bottom we have the Kenner and Hasbro logo. So the bottom's not too bad, except for all that small print. For the side of the box, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, again with the Boba Fett Slave 1. And then we have a product shot of the side of the vehicle with the stormtrooper. Pretty cool. Then we have the Kenner logo there at the bottom. For the other side of the box, we have the Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back again. Boba Fett Slave 1 again. A product shot showing off the feature of a button. And a Kenner logo at the bottom. I stand corrected. This side of the box isn't the same. It does have some other stuff here. So on the bottom we have the attention for choking hazards and, you know, all that great stuff that we've already talked about in a different language. Some other fine print there. We do have the Disney Hasbro logo on this side. And then at the top here, on the top right, we have the Vintage Collection logo. Pretty nice. So let's go ahead and, after we've taken a look at the packaging really well, let's take a look at the product inside. Okay, when you slide the inside insert out, this is what it looks like. This is how it's packaged. You can see that there's going to be some assembly required. You have to lift up the left flap, and you can see more of the ship and how it's packaged inside underneath the back of the Slave 1. Here on the side of the ship, we can take a look at all the features and all the different styles of paint. Looks really, really weathered. This top section here, we have two-tone grayish, greenish type colors. Kind of almost look like a camo pattern, but it's more meant to be, you know, worn off paint. Down here at the bottom, we have the red and like more like corrosion, a little bit of rust. I think they're going for. We have a switch here, which we'll probably take a look at here at a different part of the video. Here is all the sculpt work for the wing section. Right here, it's pretty cool. We have some grays and some other that same color reds here. It's very cool. You have the darker green on there. Here on this side, actually, there's actually some difference in the overall paint. We have this square here, and the actual pattern itself looks to be a little bit different. Here's also the wing section there. Looks pretty decent. Okay, here's a front view. Got that section for that carbonite for Han Solo. Some two tones grayish here. And that same rusty red. We have a green inside there, done like a checkered pattern. And then we have the cockpit. We'll take a look at here on the top. But this is more or less the front of it. Here's a look at the back of it. We do have some pretty nice sculpt work there. The ramp, we'll take a look at here soon. Right now we're just looking at overall appearance. That's how the back looks. So for the overall top of the ship, we can definitely see that there's 3 seats there. Some nice sculpt work there for the control panel for the pilot in the front. Here's the top of the ship. Looks very nice. Not too bad at all. Alright, so let's take a look at the interior of the ship. So we have this opening panel here. It's very dark in there. Let's see if we can get a light. Inside there you see that there I have 2 already pre-installed labels there on the wall for like control panels. We have a section where you can see, you know, the rotating cockpit where the figures sit. We have enough space so I can pretty much put my hand in there. You can put maybe see there's a peg there, and maybe see 3 or 4 figures if you really wanted to stick them in there. Then you have a little cargo section there. Pretty cool, but then the top piece does fall down to load it if you wish to do that. Pretty nice, and that's just pegged in, so you just have to push up on it just a little bit, get it to stay. And then you have this walk right here that comes down, as you can see. Not too bad. And you may be able just to store a little bit of stuff in there, because probably get up almost to my knuckle on here. So you slide this up there. You can put some weapons in there or some extra cargo if you want to. Okay, to take a look at the bottom of the ship, there is a lot of nice detail. A lot of sculpt work. A good bit of paint. A lot of weathering. Looks fantastic. You know, we have this cylinder here. We have this orange here for the, this is the areas for the engines that, you know, energize. If you ever seen the back of Boba Fett, or even maybe Jango Fett ship. Here, these buttons on the sides are for those 2 bombs that you can stick here and here. And all that sculpt work for the rear of the vehicle. A couple of screws here, but, you know, it's done pretty decently to where it doesn't really bother you or take away for the overall, you know, appearance. You know, a couple of screws there, but, you know, that's the nature of the beast. But the bottom of this looks fantastic. Okay, for the accessory bags, we do have a canopy piece and some inserts. There's a canopy. You have, you know, that red trim that'll just match up on the ship. We have the darker grays on the base here, and that camo pattern there. And then we have this tinted window. It's pretty cool. Let's see what else we got. We have an insert with the same stuff that's on the box. Wow. Imagine that. Whatever. And then we have some stickers. So they put a few on before you got it, and then they have a couple for you to put on, so you don't feel left out or anything. So here we have a instruction manual. It's done in black, white, and red. It's different. It shows you how to assemble your ship. Put a canopy, put on your wings, your turns on the back. Some of the features here for the stickers. Some instructions here for playability and for installing the stand, and where to stick your cargo box. I think that's it, what that is right there. And then the bombs and how to put Han Solo in, I'm assuming somewhere, maybe not. Oh yeah, right there. So yeah, pretty cool. Okay, so in this bag we have the wings and Han Solo carbonite, some of the turrets and bombs and missiles, so forth. So let's see what we got. Here we have one of the wings. Oh, this is all very large. See how big this is in my hand. As big as your hand. Pretty nice. So we have the rotation there for the some yellows on the wings here. Looks like this might do something, maybe. No? Nope. Thought maybe that flipped up or something, but I guess not. The bottom. Okay. Here is the other side. Pops up. Pretty much what we just looked at, but just the reverse side of it. Okay, next up, we have the 2 turrets. We have some silverish here and on the front of these. The rest is kind of the same color as Boba Fett's ship. So you have a 2-tone pattern. Looks like these may be spring-loaded. Me, myself, I'm not a big fan of spring-loaded launchers. Over time, the string weakens and they just fail anyway, so what's the point even having them? Here's our 2 missiles, like a silver. All the way around. Just go in the front, like so. So the Faradays, you have to go to the back, and there's a little square there. So they fire relatively nicely. Guys, kids, guys, whoever, please don't shoot each other in the face. Definitely can put an eye out. Okay, here's the 2 bombs that you get. Pretty nice. I do love how they portrayed these in Jango Fett's ship. What was it? Movie that was Clone Wars, maybe. You know how he deployed them, they fell, and then they made an amazing sound, and pattern of blast radius was really cool, I thought. Okay, here's Han Solo in carbonite, and they say we didn't get a figure. So okay, all joking aside, this is all silver. We have the dark gray trim around the base. Then we have silver control panels there on the side. Back. It's pretty nice. Okay, our last bag we have looks like this stand in and some kind of pod, I guess. Not sure what they're calling that. The stand is pretty big. I kind of wish I had one of these for my Jango Fett ship. Here is the pod. Pretty cool. Just the top of it. So that's really cool. Let's see how this goes together. Very simply like that. And you can put whatever, whoever in it, and then you can put it in your slave one. This stand is really thick. It's heavy, nice heavy duty stand. If you guys can see this, this is cool. We have the Mandalorian logo there. I hope that's coming through. It's super clear, but it's sculpted into the plastic. That's really nice. And I don't see this thing having a problem holding that large ship at all. This is going to be very cool. Okay, let's look at some of the playability before you fully put this thing together. So if your cargo pod here, you're going to want to put it in here. So you're going to have your larger end towards the front of the ship. You bring it in. Actually, seats in there. It's like a little slot. And just pick it up. And then snap it in. There you go. And that's what that looks like. So very nice place for stories. I mean, the whole ship is definitely used. Like I said, if you pull down a walkway, you can stick some little crates or something in there. So that does allow for that also, which is really nice. So every bit and cranny, I think, of this ship is used for storage. So that's really, really cool. And just to get your pod out, all you're going to do is just pull it down. There's a little tab there. And take your pod out. Okay, for your bombs, you're just going to want to put them here. And in that section. And then all you have to do is not rip off your gate like I just did. There's these buttons. Right here. And right there. So when you're in flight, you can just push those and they fall out. And for your missile launchers on the bottom, you just pop them in like so, and then they will rotate however you see fit, a 360. And remember how I showed you to fire them from the back, and you can take out your enemy with those. As for capturing Han Solo and transporting him to Jabba the Hutt, you just get your little carbonite Han Solo figure, and you can just slide it inside like so. Looks pretty cool. And then you just simply remove him. Now the canopy is going to sit like this, so you won't be able to see that, obviously. So that's how that'll look. Okay, after you go ahead and snap your canopy on, here on the top, and it just snaps here. So it's not really that hard, but that's how that looks. Fits really nice, perfectly. You're very hard to see these seam lines for where it opens. It's hidden very well. It's definitely measured out pretty good. Okay, here's what the wings look like when they're attached. Here you can see that the cockpit is actually on like a rotation system. So if you're in flight mode, they do lay back and then go forward in ground mode. Now for the stand, I would have thought it would have snapped on, but apparently not. Apparently it just sits on there. You kind of just, this is for the base of the ship. This is more for the hull of the ship. So you just bring it in like this. And then it comes right down over top. So here's the side of it. Here is the back of it on the flight stand. And here it is on the front of it on the flight stand. We just keep falling down. Now they really give you an idea how big this thing is. There's a Boba Fett while the slave one's on the flight stand. Try to hold this camera so you can see. Yeah, it's nice, way bigger than my. Now what's nice about the release of this, along with two different Boba Fetts, you can choose between the Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett or the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. Or both, you know, if you want to, but you have options to choose. I do like the Return of the Jedi better Boba Fett, so that's what I have went with for my slave one and for my shelf. So that's what that looks like. So you do have the options of picking up either one, you know, if you want to have just one Boba Fett for your slave one. Okay, so that is your Vintage Collections Boba Fett Slave 1. Highly recommend it. It's a little pricey. It's about, like I said, $150. I've seen it above $150 on aftermarket. So, but they can pretty much still get this from, you know, your retailers at $150. Check online. Shouldn't be too bad if you do want to pick one up. This is probably the best Boba Fett Slave 1 ship, in my opinion. If you're looking for, you know, detail and size, this is quite large compared to like the Power of Force or the ones in that style mold that's been re-released over the few movies that in the past. I can't remember which line they were, but I'm pretty sure you know. Even getting the flight stand is a big bonus. So if you do have the Jango Fett ship that's like this, you have, you know, that's two fantastic pieces. Wish I had another flight stand for my Jango Fett ship, but is what it is. I would have thought that the stand would have connected, like snapped in, like little crevices, little notches or something. It does not. So it does sit a little wobbly. So I'd be sure you have it on a sturdy surface. So if your shelf tends to lean because of your carpet, you might want to make sure that you secure it extra somehow, however your setup is. Or if there are kids running, it may vibrate off. So just be aware of that. Or you can just have it sitting like I have it here. But the flight stand makes it look fantastic. Other than that, I really can't think too much negatives. I don't like the clips inside the seats. They have three clips for three seats to hold the figure in, because it kind of makes it, you know, difficult with, you know, Boba Fett's little cape here and then his pouches and stuff. So it could get a little finicky by putting him in and out. And so whatever other figures you use, you may find it a little tedious trying to get them to fit in there. I get why they put it in, because of the way it rotates. The figures will probably just slide, but I could live without it if it was me. But other than that, I mean, it's fantastic. Playability is through the roof. They've used the cargo areas very nicely. You can put a ton of stuff in there. You can cram figures in there. I love the cargo section in the rear. The Boba Fett's area here, you could put at least, if you want to cram 4 or 5 figures in, you probably could get it. I know there's several different spots in the peg system that you can stand figures in. Obviously not in flight mode, but well, you could do it. It's not going to be. It'll be inside. Who cares how they're sitting, right? But so you're looking anywhere from 8 figures. Maybe if you put one in a cargo area, one in the back here, you can put some little crates or guns or whatever in there. Maybe store Boba Fett's weapons. Now for me, I haven't put on my my decals yet. This is more of an unboxing video, my first impressions of the ship. So you probably didn't see these, but I'll be doing that here in the future. So at least they put a couple on for you, and then if you like putting stickers on or decals, you got about 5 or 6 there to install. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up for me. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe. Comment down below if you have any questions. Share the video with your friends and fellow collectors. That'd be great. Recommend them to subscribe to my channel. It'll be fantastic. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in our next review.